train the gate.
What you just saw there is me taking my first steps onto a road that I've been on for the last 17 years. That was my first YouTube video that I posted as a 15-year-old boy. I had initially written a script for the video you're watching now, but it felt, I don't know, kind of forced, and I just wanted to speak candidly for a minute about where this channel has come from, what it's meant to me, and where it's going maybe even a little bit. On the internet, we like to measure success in terms of the size of numbers, and I guess in a way that's what I'm doing here. But rather than stopping and taking a moment to reflect on an audience of a particular size or whatever, I want to reflect on the fact that I've posted 500 videos because YouTube does not send out gold plaques for the quantity of videos that you've posted. But I don't know, I think it's kind of significant in a world and in a business that encourages people to burn hot and fast, and all but ensures that most people do burn hot and fast. It's been, a really long, slow burn for me with this this job and this platform, and it's a lot of it has felt like it's happened by accident, but I don't know, I just thought I'd kind of take a look back on it as a way of saying thank you for everybody that has come along, for this journey. I never wanted to be a professional musician. I never wanted to be a YouTuber, certainly. The fact that there are kids now for whom what I'm doing is their dream job is like completely insane to me. And so that's a kind of a crazy thing to sit with, This is a job that didn't exist at the time that these videos were being made that you're watching right now. I was precious of music when I was young. At this age, even when, if I'm being honest, I had a lot of ability, I was worried that studying it in college I was going to wind up hating it. I heard all these horror stories as a kid of like, went to a conservatory, never wanted to look at a trombone again. And so, I was very reticent about having music occupy any role other than just for fun in my life, just for the joy of it. And that's something that you really see reflected in hopefully all of my work, but I think especially in these early videos where I was just trying kind of anything. And I did get a lot of joy out of it. I met a lot of people. It was as much a reason and an opportunity to socialize for me making videos as it was anything else. I think that, of course, the dopamine hit that you get from the validation of random people telling you you're doing a good job is something that I felt then, just as, teenagers feel now, in a even, I think, less healthy way. But yeah, it wasn't really until the end of college that my, at the time, girlfriend and now wife gave me, I think, a really critical shove and basically said, it's so obvious to everybody but you that this is what, you need to be doing with your life and your career. So as I started to think about music as a job for the first time, YouTube all of a sudden became this crazy portfolio for me, essentially. I moved to New York, which is right around the time of the videos that you're seeing now, and I started a Patreon, which was life-changing for me at that time, because it allowed YouTube to be a huge part of my income. I worked part-time for a couple of years when I was here, and I just kept making videos in basically the same way that I had been doing. I didn't try and change the formula. I didn't try and post things that I thought would be successful. I still at this time really didn't view YouTube as a career. I thought that touring was going to be the the surefire thing. That's what legitimate musicians were doing, basically. And if I wasn't doing that, then surely I wasn't a legitimate musician, frankly. But I just kept at it. It became basically a reflex making YouTube videos for me at this point, and I still got a hell of a lot of joy out of it, which is why I worked so hard on every one. It's crazy for me. I'm watching this just as you are in real time, and it's crazy for me to look back and think about how many hours and hours of preparation went into every single one of these videos. a big part of what I think I've tried to do with my channel is prepare so that like spontaneous things can happen in the moment, and it can be good and it can land and work, you know? But what you don't see is that, yeah, there are hours of preparation usually that go into arranging these things and, you know, engineering these things, finding shot locations, coordinating, editing the video. I was still doing absolutely everything myself at this point. This is, I think, 2019 now, and I'd started, you know, tiptoeing into the world of putting out my own original music, but yeah, I mean, YouTube was just this weird other thing around that I was like, okay, finally I'm touring. So like, all right, that's my real music thing, and YouTube is just my little fun land over here that somehow people give me money for. I mean, I really felt that way for years, and it wasn't really until the pandemic hit, which is right about now. This was right around the time that the pandemic hit. I had a little backlog of videos that I was able to shoot, but everything starts being just me for a little while at this point. And yeah, man, I mean, all of a sudden I was in this place where YouTube, that was the real music world. Touring dried up, and all of my touring friends were asking, you know, how to start a YouTube channel, basically, and I was in this weird position. I had just started working with my wife Kelly at this time. She took over the visual side of the channel, and between the two of us, there was a little period of time where, you know, we were doing these insanely high effort videos. I just redoubled the amount of effort I was putting into everything, and I got kind of fed up with it because, you know, there was no, I don't know, real balance in my life, and everybody was struggling in one way or another during the pandemic. But yeah, I mean, we came out of it on the other side, and it just kind of kept going, and you know, I really worked a lot more towards collaborating and trying to find ways to do new things. The other favorites, obviously, were going full speed during this time. We put out On Americana and then toured for it really extensively, and it wasn't really until this time, this was like 2022, that it felt like I had kind of figured out what it was that I'd been trying to do all along, which is releasing things on YouTube and then touring in support of that, you know? Because the reason it took me this long to figure it out was because there are just very few people who are making music as the only type of content they make online and doing it professionally. I'm not a personality online. This extemporized voiceover notwithstanding, like, I'm just a musician who videos what they're doing, essentially. And so I finally figured out this recipe of like, oh no, video what you're doing, and then just tour whatever it is that you're doing, you know, in whatever way that it's affordable to tour it. And so, yeah, I mean, that's what I did with the other favorites, and that is what I'm doing now with the Bygones. And when I'm not on the road with Allison, I'm able to, you know, give voice to all these other wacky creative impulses in between. And I just can't believe that I've kind of wound up in this place. I mean, like, it feels like I've spent 17 years basically groping in the dark, trying to find the light switch to like what it is that I'm supposed to be doing with my life, you know? And there are still definitely times where I feel kind of existential, and like, you know, I could be a doctor or a, you know, a teacher or something like that is actually useful like that. But at the same time, it's like, no, I mean, like, meeting fans in the real world, this stuff really resonates with people, and just doing this, I guess, does make the world a little bit less of a bad place sometimes. So yeah, I mean, after all this time, I don't really know where the channel goes from here, but I've never known where the channel is going, and it's gone all right so far. I mean, I think that there is a freedom in that is part of what has allowed me to keep posting for so long and to keep having fun. So I think that's what I'm gonna keep trying to do for as long as I'm enjoying it. And thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the real world.